All right, y'all. I'm a little early on here. Give a little bit for everyone to hop on. Notifications aren't gonna probably come out till 7, so. Donovan's fishing and hunting. What's up, man? Storm Chaser, what's going on? Got some storms in the area for sure. Sweet. Glad to have everyone here this afternoon, this evening. It's rainy. Yep, that's right. I apologize for the birds squawking in the background, but that's how it goes around here. Yeah, we're getting a lot of good rain, and we really needed it. Adam, what's going on? What's going on, Kip? Appreciate y'all for being here. Really means a lot. Haven't been live in a little while, but I wanted to go live. I really want to try and do this more often, and I need to do it. It's just hard to kind of set time. As you can hear, it sounds like a complete zoo around here. It's just really hard for me to get time to do this and do this the right way. Yeah, for sure, man. Those Storm Chaser, those creeks are going to be really, really, really good after this rain. No, something's going on for sure, Donovan. George, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can't thank y'all enough for being here. Anyway, yeah, I don't know when the last time I actually, there we go. I don't know when the last time I actually went live was. It's definitely been a while. But I've kind of transitioned over the winter creek crappie stuff's long gone. It really wasn't super good this year, and it was just really tough all the way around. And I was very thankful to get on the bikes that I was able to get on, and that really nice. Harold, thanks for being here. Yeah, next week's gonna be good. It's kind of I don't like it when it does this, but when it gets good on spring break week, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So there's just going to be a lot of people. I'm just going to have to get out there and try to fit in where I can and just do what I can. But oh man, Donovan. Yes, sir. Yes, Storm Chaser, it is. Every year is the same. But yeah, so the creek crappie this winter just didn't do that good. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It was over for me about January-ish, mid-January. It seemed like it was just done. I really wish it would have lasted longer. Donovan, come to Longview and I'll get you on some spots to do some videos. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'd love to. It's just I live in Fort Worth, and so I'm 3 hours away from there. It takes me forever to get anywhere east living over here these days. But yeah, so I kind of transitioned to the white bass really early this year. It seemed like mid-February, believe it or not. I see it so much, and I don't understand why. A lot of people will tell people to wait till March for crappie and for the sand bass run. And consistently, the last couple years, and it depends on the weather, obviously, but consistently when the warm nights happen and we get a few days of warm weather back to back to back, especially you sprinkle in some rain, those fish are there in mid-February, mid to late February. Especially the sand bass, they'll get up super early. And so, I think it was the 16th, 17th of February, I was catching 40 fish a day in the creek's white bass. And Adam, yeah, man, hate to hear that. I know the lake was low and the lake came up. I definitely think that has a lot to do with it. Good evening, Paul. Thanks for being here. I definitely think that the water being low and coming up has something to do with it. I think it definitely does better if the water's full going into the winter. I think the fish just kind of know they can gravitate that way, and this year it wasn't like that. So I'm thinking that had to have been what kind of did that. But mid-February, the white bass were in the creeks good. They've been in the creeks really good for a couple weeks now. Probably 3 weeks now, believe it or not. This last week was pretty slow for me, and that's just because the rains have stopped. The creeks got low, it cleared up, and a lot of those fish that came up in February, they've gotten caught out, and that's really what it is. Those white bass are not gonna come up unless there's rain. I don't care how warm it gets. I don't care if it's 95 degrees. They need that flow. They need that current. They need the water to really get up and really move, and that draws them in. They can sense that current and get up in it, and they just follow it all the way. And so that really makes a difference. And not every year is the same. Some years it doesn't rain until April, and I've seen them wait all the way almost to May to make their run. They won't run up there until it rains. Adam, the water went up 12 foot over a weekend. Yeah, it did, man. It came up really quick. Robert, thanks for being here. The best year for the run I've ever had was 1st of February. Yep. And those February fish, those first fish are the most aggressive too. They've come up, you know, they don't get the pressure nearly that some of the other ones do. Or, you know, when the other ones come up later in the year, there's more people. But yeah, those February runs can be really good. Mark Williams, thanks for being here, man. Caught 20 days shallow in a couple hours. Crappie, not sandy, is nice. It was storming and raining up here all day, Mark. Slab Buster, there he is. Hey, man, been on the lake since 5 a.m. Fat boy tired. I saw you caught a bunch of fish, man. Good job. I'm glad to see. Donovan. Yeah, I went to my spot off Sabine and only got 4. The week before, I got 10 to 15. Yep. That's how it is for sure. Yeah, if y'all could hit the thumbs up. YouTube really likes that. That shows that you're enjoying this, you're enjoying the content, and it'll help push it out a little bit. So if y'all could do that, I would appreciate that. Slab Buster, fished 3 different lakes in 3 days, been all up and down the Coosa River. There you go, man. Yep, Robert, they will. The rains will bring hybrids up for sure. I'm hearing they're catching some hybrids at Rowlett Creek, but I don't care if they're biting every single cast at Rowlett Creek. I'm not going to Rowlett Creek if I don't have to. So there's going to be some creeks around here that they get in pretty good. It's just a timing thing. You could go there. You can go there and, you know, catch them, or you can not mistime it just a few days at all. I've seen it make such a difference. Etez, oh nice, man, glad to hear. Donovan, what about a heart? My wife must have changed my stuff. Game Glutton, thanks for being here. Have you been to Lavon this season yet? I have not, and I'm actually really planning to. I'm really planning to go to Lavon. I've never been. I think I've been to the Lavon Creeks one time. I don't even remember what creek it was. I think it was Sister Grove. I want to say Sister Grove. I went to one time, and it was in the winter. It didn't do any good. But this year I want to do a little more exploring on those creeks. It's just the thing is I live so far, and that's been one of the biggest hurdles I've had this year. And last year for that matter, is just the where I live in Fort Worth. There's lakes around here, yes. There's just more options out east. And so for me to Buck, what's going on? For me to, you know, go to Lavon, I don't know how far it is, but it's probably, it's probably an hour and a half with traffic for me to go to Lavon. It just really just eats up time, and before I know it, that's 3 hours. I'm, you know, tied up just driving, not including scouting, not including walking. Just, you know, just eats up a lot of time. But I do want to go check Lavon. I'm gonna go over there pretty soon, and I'm gonna go check some of those creeks, see if maybe there's some crappie in there too. Slab, hey, watched your last video. Spawn is very close. Water temps 58 this morning on Neely, up to 65. It was almost warm. Yeah, man, the water was 70 degrees yesterday at Lake Worth when I left, believe it or not. But Lake Worth's a smaller, shallower lake, so it's not surprising. But yeah, White Rock's one of those places that I definitely don't venture to. I don't know. I've just gotten over the years where I just don't deal with that. Marlon, thanks for being here, man. I want to try Levon Creeks. I'm tired of the ridiculous crowds at RC. Yeah, man, I don't blame you at all. I've done that when I was younger, and I don't want nothing to do with it no more. I live in Fort Worth, Marlon, so I live probably 15 minutes away from Eagle Mountain, and I don't like that lake at all. But yeah, after this rain, you guys, there's going to be fish everywhere. There is going to be fish everywhere. White bass, definitely be some hybrids push up, but it just depends on where. I've seen them run early in March. I've seen them run in April. It just kind of depends on when they decide to show up. But it's definitely been warm enough. And if we get this rain, I've been watching the weather gauges, stream gauges online, and the creeks are coming up for sure. So we'll just have to see exactly how far up they come and all that. But yeah, I want to get into some updates, you guys. I have not really been guiding, and I want to clarify some of that stuff, so it seems like I get asked like every week, every couple of days, am I guiding? Here's the deal, you guys. The crappie right now in particular are really, really hit or miss. As you can see, I have not caught a lot of crappie. What crappie I have caught, I have put on film for y'all, and I have another video coming out soon. I think tomorrow's the one. That's the one I'm putting out, where I catch a few crappie spawning in the creek, and I just have not caught that many. And a lot of that is just with the weather up and down, just the nature of spring crappie. They're just wishy-washy fish. They're here one day, gone the next, and that's why I don't want to guide for them, because I discount trips when they don't do good. And so if I'm gambling every single trip, it's just not ideal for me. And I'm not one of those guys that go out there and chase roaming fish and all that. I just got an Ultrex, and I'm just able to do that. So I have not put the time in to learn that yet. So that is something I'm definitely going to look at. But right now, my focus is YouTube. My focus is the guys that I do have. I do have a few guys that want trips, and so those guys, I've had them just waiting. If I can get on some crappie, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them out first, and then I have trips in May. May is getting booked up really fast. June has got a few trips in it. So if y'all are interested, you guys, I mean, the guiding, I'm really gonna kind of, and I'm 2 days away from been doing this for a full year, believe it or not. It's just crazy that it's already been a year. It does not seem like it has. So I still am really learning on the fly. I have been kind of just learning as I go. And so I've learned that in the winter, the bite for me here in DFW, I can't go to Fork, I can't go to Lake of the Pines and run trips all winter. That's just not realistic for my situation. As far as, I have 2 young boys, I have responsibilities. I can't just up and go to Fork for a week and run trips all week. That's just not responsible on my end. So here in DFW, the crappie bite in the winter is tough. And if you look around on social media, you'll see that there's not a lot of people catching fish. Now, I catch crappie in the creeks, but that's also very, hit or miss. A lot of times it's places that I'm walking to, you can't take a boat. I just don't feel comfortable taking people from the bank because it is so hard to get where I get. And I don't want to have someone fall in the creek. I don't want to have someone break an ankle. excuse me, I don't want to have that kind of stuff happening, and so that's why I don't do that. But let me kind of catch up on some comments real quick. Game Glutton, I live in Texas all my life. I always fish Levon, but I've moved to a different state now. Planning my yearly vacation to go back there for the spring spawn. Nice. Yeah, spring's hard to beat as far as like just numbers of fish. Marlin, gotcha. I grew up in Fort Worth as a teen. White Rock. Yeah, it does. I'm not, yeah, White Rock's not the cleanest for sure, Marlin. Wesley, what's going on? Oh, thanks, Buck. I appreciate you too, man. Slab Buster, man, it's dadgum work staying on fish all the time. It's not easy like some may think. Being a guide, I'd have to live on the water. Get caught up in those vines. Yes, Robert, that is true. You might be able to see it right here. I have a little bit of a scar right here from it. The GoPro actually took the worst of that fall. I'm gonna go over the story. So I fell probably 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. I fell pretty bad. I'm 31. I've been doing this as long as I can remember, and I have never fell as hard as I did 2 weeks ago. I went to, there was a bank, and there was a log kind of laying like this. I went to jump from this bank to that log, and there was a vine right across the ground that I did not see. And it also comes from me just getting older. I can't see as good. I really need glasses, to be honest. Daniel, what's going on? I did not see that vine, and so when I jumped, the second my feet left the ground, I'm telling you, the second my feet left the ground, that vine caught both of my feet, and I went face first, head first into this log. And it was not a little log. I actually posted it on my Facebook page, I believe it was. And I hit hard. My head was hurting. I actually it was weird. I bruised one knee and then I burned the other knee. No, Texas Outdoors, thanks for being here, man. No, I was actually not rolling when I did that. I would have put it in there. I don't mind. Y'all know me. I don't care. I'll put it out there. I was not rolling when that happened. I did film a little bit after when it happened, when I was sitting there trying to gather myself, trying to make sure I was all right. But there was just, I don't know, it just wasn't, I didn't feel like it would have been the same if of me actually falling. It's going to happen. I'm going to fall. I'm surprised I don't fall more, just because I go through some rough stuff. I'm just telling y'all, I go through some rough stuff. Yeah, it don't get any better, huh, Slab Buster? Oh yeah, for sure. Those docks can be really slippery, especially in the fall. You know, you get that fog or get that condensation, or you know, in the winter you get that frost. But yeah, so I fell pretty good, and I'll be honest, I was pretty sore for a while. It's just part of it. I'm really working hard. I'm treating YouTube as a job, and I don't take it lightly. I don't halfway do it. I treat this as a 9 to 5 right now, especially because this is my focus. The fishing's up and down, the guiding's up and down, but that's kind of what I'm gonna go back to. So I want to kind of lean on what is the most consistent, and so that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do until I get to a point where I can do both. You know, that's kind of the plan. So for me, wintertime, springtime, fall. The fall I can run crappie trips. The fall bite up until about December for me, depending on how fast it gets cold. Up until about December, I can run trips pretty consistently. But once you get into December, I'll have, and this is what I'm going to do next year too. So I'm going to kind of just block off trips during, you know, December, January, February, March, all that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do it as it comes basis, basically. So if I get, you know, on a good bite and the creeks are good and the weather behaves, then I'll run a few trips. It's just gonna have to be last minute. I'll be like, hey, I got some trips creek trips available this week, whatever. But as far as just having people waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and honestly, like too, it's part of what I'm learning is the YouTube, the filming for YouTube and the guide searching for guide fish are two totally different entities. The fish that I film, that I catch on film and put on film for y'all, are fish that I can't guide for, and vice versa. A lot of times the fish that I guide for aren't really good to film, and I don't want to film stuff that I'm going to run trips on. So it's really kind of that they don't mesh. And you know, if I only guided, that would be great, but I don't. I guide and I do YouTube. I make jigs as well. I try to do it all. Texas outdoors would make you feel any better. I fell out of the boat for the first time ever, and the boat was in the garage. Oh man, I'm sure that's next for me. JR, thanks for being here. Does White Rock Creek have white bass? It's dirty there, and I've never had any luck behind the soccer fields. I do believe they're white bass, JR. I don't know how big they get, but I do know there's some in there. Marlon, what's your thoughts on Tawakoni Creeks for sandies? There's lots of sandies and hybrids in those Tawakoni Creeks, but there's a lot of people over there too. Wesley Hayes, Tawakoni used to have good hybrids. Been there since my buddy passed. Oh, haven't been there. Yeah, I haven't caught a Tawakoni hybrid in probably 10 plus years, believe it or not. Outdoors Adventures, thanks for being here. Does Marine Creek in Fort Worth have crappie in it? I hear it does. I have never been on the lake. I drive past it all the time. But I'm gonna have, there you go. Adam says it's on fire. It is on fire in the spring, especially the little creek in front of the high school. I'm gonna have to go try it out. I drove past it yesterday and I was like, man, it looks good. Like, it looks like a good lake. And so, you know, the winter I'm gonna kind of focus on YouTube. Spring, so that's my focus. The rest of this month and next month. I just don't have time to do both, you guys. I would love to be able to. I kind of have to do one or the other. I can't go run out and film a bunch of white bass and then turn around and go find a bunch of crappie. You know, like those crappie require a lot of time to search for right now. Noodles, thanks for being here. Is that the same thing as a sunfish? A crappie is, I think, related to sun. They're in the same sunfish family. But yeah, you guys, so I am focusing on YouTube, and I'm gonna actually put out a video too and kind of go over the details on some of the YouTube statistics and stuff like that, especially now that I've been doing it for a year. And I'm just gonna really kind of vice versa this in the summer. I'm going to, I'll still put out videos, but I'm not going to be focused on YouTube in the summer. I'm going to be focused on running trips. That's where, for me, it's more beneficial to do that. The fishing's good every day. It's consistent. I don't have to scout nowhere near as much. And so that's kind of been yeah, perch are sunfish. Yeah, we just call it, I've always called them perch. Some people don't like that, but I've always called them perch. That's just a Texas thing. Yeah, perch and a sunfish are technically the same thing from where, here in Texas, from where I am. Slabbuster, crazy, it's been a year already, man. The older I get, faster time gets. Yeah, for sure, it is flying. Let me tell you. So, yeah, brim, bluegill, they're all the same. They all have different names. Kind of like crappie have different names too. But anyone got any questions? I'm planning on doing the lake breakdowns again for the summer months, and I'm actually thinking about redoing them and updating them, and I'm really got something in store for y'all on that. I have been thinking about it for a long time, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. It's gonna take a lot of work for me, but I want to do it and offer this to y'all. So y'all just stay tuned with the lake breakdowns. I have not got rid of that. I'm just gonna keep making that better and better. So I'm gonna do that. I plan to be out on the creeks as much as physically possible the next month and a half or so, 2 months. And I'm just gonna pump videos out. I would love to get to the point to where I don't have to just, the volume of videos I have to put out. Solar eclipse fishing, I can't wait to try. Hopefully it's not storming, because that's a pretty stormy time of year. Yeah, small white grub is good here too, Noodles. But I think I would really like to, I forgot what I was even talking about. Hugo, thanks for being here. Hugo, during the summer, you should try and take a day or two off per month, catch a limit of crappie and post a video. Yeah, Hugo, man. So I'll tell you, man, I cannot run that many trips in the summer. So I limit my trips to, I'm probably gonna post at least once or twice a week is my goal in the summer. I just cannot physically run a lot of trips back to back to back. They are hard on me. If anyone's been on a trip with me, you know how hard I work and how much work there is, especially on those good days when the fish are biting. It is exhausting. And then I have to come home, and I have 2 young boys. So I don't get to come home and take a nap and rest up and everything. Television pilot, what's going on? So I don't get to just come home and rest and recuperate, you know, so that really wears me down. So I can run maybe 3. 3 is pushing it. I like to have days in between. Obviously a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, if I have a trip Saturday, Sunday, then I have to work, you know, I have to run those trips both days. So, but I try to not back them up 2 or 3 in a row, because I need the downtime in between to recuperate, especially when it's hot. I mean, there was a couple, I know for sure one trip last year in the summer was a full day trip and it was 110 degrees. It was hot. I figure most don't want to be out in the summer heat. That is rough. Yeah, Slab. So most of the time, like, that's the good thing about the summer is usually we get out there somewhat early, and usually by like 1 or 2 o'clock, by the time the trip's over, I mean, we've got a good mess for the most part. I mean, there's obviously some days when it doesn't go good, as good as some other days, and there's some days when you can do no wrong. But for the most part, we can get out there and get the fish and get off the water before it gets too hot. Wesley Hayes, you think the upcoming solar eclipse will have an impact on fishing? You know, I don't really know if it will have an impact, but the fish probably don't even know what's going on. Like, it's so rare. They're definitely never going to see it again in their lifetime. But I definitely don't know how that would go. But I do plan to be out fishing. If I can make it happen, I'm gonna try and be out fishing on the eclipse. I think that would be a really cool video. So that's my goal. Like I said, that's just a really stormy and weird weather time of year. So we're gonna have to see if it's not just absolutely storming like crazy that day. Robert, have you thought about going to a pontoon boat? They are nice to fish out of. I would love to have a pontoon boat, Robert. I would. I know my wife would love that. She'll probably comment if she's not too busy with the boys. But I would love one, but I just don't see myself getting one right now. I'm still paying off on the boat I have right now. Outside of that, I mean, I love my boat. I really do. Obviously, it can be bigger, but with time, you know, I plan to really, I don't know what the future holds, I guess, so we'll just have to see how that goes, but I'm definitely open to it. Mark Williams, get a big umbrella and mount it to a double seat. Yes, that's one thing I got to do this year is get some shade on the boat. That is in the works for sure. Television pilot. Slab buster, hate summertime bug spiders, mosquitoes, snakes, jet fleas. Oh yeah. Yep. Wesley, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Colton, it's tough to shoot docks in a tune. Yeah. The pontoons for sure would be a lot more drifty around for sure. Outdoor adventures, what lakes do you guide on? Man, that's a good question. So I guide I'd say in the summertime, my main lakes are, and it depends too. It just kind of depends exactly how much. It depends on the bite for one. It depends on the client's request. Some just want to learn a lake, even if it's not fishing the best, whatever. But I really try to stick with Joe Pool, Grapevine, Lewisville, Ray Roberts. I know Levon pretty well. I saw that other Devin. How much are you on Levon? I know Levon pretty well. I just don't get over there from the distance, but I do know it pretty well, and it fishes really good in the summer. Yeah, my wife Wesley would love it. But you know, I've ran trips. I've ran trips on Cedar Creek, Ray Hubbard. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ran a trip on Levon, Joe Pool, Grapevine, Lewisville. I don't know if I said Ray Roberts. So I've ran trips on a lot of lakes. Spot walk is a must for sure, Wesley. Stephen Hawkins, thanks so much for being here. Yeah, we're getting good rain. I'm keeping up with the Mavericks right here too. The Mavericks are actually keeping it kind of close now. I have not looked at the radar in a little bit. Still got rain coming in, which is good. Those Millennium umbrella mounts are pretty nice. I'm going to have to look into that because that would help me out. There's been some times I've been out there, I'm seeing stars and everything. Let's see. Wesley, I even do catfishing from mine, and I keep it at my dock on Loserville. Nice. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna have to steal that. I'm gonna have to steal that. I like calling Lewisville Loserville because it's tough. I do not like that lake. I don't like it at all. Devin, thoughts on boat art? Man, I actually saw a Texas Park and Wildlife report that they did a electrofishing survey out there, and there's a lot of fish out there, and they have the crappie aren't super big yet, but their growth rates supposedly are really good, like even better than Fort Palestine, even better than those lakes, and so they're really hyping it up. It's just a matter of getting it full. They are 100% drawing water out of it though, because we've had enough rain to get that lake full, and it's not full. And even Levon is full, and that lake is hard to fill up. So we'll see. It might be next year before they open it up. I don't know. That lake's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on exactly with it, but Chris, sleep at the reel. What's going on, man? Yeah, the weather's about to get bad. Yes, sir, man. It's been bad up here all day long. Just a little shade can help a ton. Yes, sir. Yes, Slab Buster. Wesley also did just get a 1542 War Eagle for trot lines. Oh, nice. I've heard good things about those War Eagles. I have heard good things about that. Colton, tips for March bite on Cedar Creek. Man, so Cedar Creek right now, I'd be looking in the creeks, feeder creeks. I would be looking at shallow docks in the back of coves. Especially if that water's murky. That would be where I'd be looking at, Colton. Yep, been calling it Loserville a while. That's what my boss calls it. Nice. Devin Howe, there aren't many boat ramps on it from what I've seen though. Yeah, I have seen that too. And it's definitely, I don't know what they did. I don't know who is the one that really was putting input in on that, but I really don't. They didn't build that lake solely for fishing like they say they did. You know, obviously they did it for water too, but there's something going on with it. I don't know how to describe it, but they're thinking about limiting tournaments on it. The ramps weren't built very good, so when the water gets low, they're just going to shut the lake down, that type of thing. Robert, I just hope the hybrids really start turning around on Lewisville. It's had a chance to be good again. Yeah, Robert, man, this year, This year should be the year for those hybrids on Lewisville. They put a lot of hybrids in there, so I'm really curious to see this year if we can get hybrids come up in the spring. If we can get hybrids come up in the spring, then that's going to tell us a lot, and so I really hope that's the case. Outdoor Adventures, you and 903 should do a fish it together sometime, make a video. Yeah, man, we'll see about that. I'm not sure how we'll do that, but maybe. Medin, what's your favorite crappie bait? Man, I mean, I've been using my own jigs. They've been working good for me. There's no need for me to really. They've been working good for me. They're little minnow shaped profiles, a lot like a Bobby Garland, but they just have like a forked tail on the end of them. Julian, what's going on? Yeah, it's been a little while. Thanks for being on here. Wesley, I'll message you a pic of pontoon setup. Very family friendly, and even have my active target on it. Nice. Yeah, I would love to get a pontoon, but I don't know how quick that's going to happen. All right, so I'm going to kind of do some admin stuff. So, you know, super chats are there. I just put Cash App in there. If you guys are interested, y'all know me. I'm not on here begging for nobody to send money or anything like that. But if you guys want to support, those options are there for y'all. You can do a super chat, Cash App, anything like that if you want. I sell jigs as well. If you're interested, just shoot me an email. I'll put that in there. And yeah, you know, lake breakdowns. If you're interested in a trip, I really can't. I mean, if y'all are really interested in a trip, I can't stress enough. You definitely want to get on the books pretty fast because it's booking up fast. Thankfully, I'm so thankful for that. But it's definitely kind of even caught me by surprise so far. Roberto Rivera, guys, please take fish when you're going to eat them. I have been seeing pics at different pages. 2 or 3 days, guys getting limits. Yeah, unfortunately that's what it is. Actually, that reminds me. So I don't know what is going on this year, and I actually talked to someone on the creek the other day about this. He's seeing the same thing, and some of my other buddies have said the same thing. I have been doing this a long time, and I have never, ever, ever seen the amount of people we have bank fishing right now. I don't know what happened, but this year it has like doubled or maybe even tripled the amount of people I'm seeing on the bank. I don't know what has caused it. During the week even, like I haven't even been on a weekend. I'm talking during the week, pull up, there's 20 guys there. I don't know what's going on. It's making it super tough for me because I go to some creeks, I can't even park. Excuse me, I can't even park. And so it just makes it really tough. But, you know, with the crowds, I'm seeing more trash. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I don't want it to come off like I'm complaining because I'm not complaining. Everyone can fish, that's fine. And I was actually out on the creek a couple days ago, and there was a lot of guys out there, a lot of people, but everyone was cool. Everyone was respectful. You know, no one crossed lines, all that. I pay attention when I'm out there on the water. And so, I really pay attention to where someone's casting, their angles, everything like that. And I really try to be respectful to everyone. And I obviously wouldn't, want that in return. So JR, what size jig head do you use? So jig head, I use 16th ounce for the most part. I use 4-pound monofilament high vis. That's kind of hook size. I'm not sure it's just the standard 16th ounce hook size. Medin, I've never caught a crappie. Can you teach me how? Sure can, man. Sure can. Wesley, you can just shoot me an email. That's kind of how I've been doing that. Yes, Julian, I sure do remember you, man. Thanks so much for being here, and thanks so much for the support. I really can't thank you enough. Sweet, Wesley. There you go. Colton, that's a good question. Thoughts on crappie limits with forward-facing sonar now in the picture? I definitely think, I don't know. I don't. I think forward facing has been around long enough now that I feel like we would start to see. I feel like we would start to see some effects on it. And now I don't fish heavily pressured lakes like Fork. Fork, I don't know how there's a fish left in Fork. I really don't. But me personally, I have not seen it negatively affect anything around here, because a lot of times, like, you see them and you can't get them to bite. You know, it's just that there's so much more to just. It makes it easier on average for someone to go out and catch fish, but it's still not a guarantee. You know, the wind, weather, just stuff like that plays a role into it. Hugo, definitely downside of living in such a populated area. Yes. I really think that is. I really think that I think the city's growing. I really think that the Metroplex is growing. That's kind of a big part of it. There's a lot going on. Apologize, y'all. I can't tell what comments are legit or what comments are spam. So y'all bear with me on this. Television pilot, I'll complain for you. Omar, I think the jigs I won in the drawing are very high quality. Caught a limit on the brown color with blue belly. Nice. Glad to hear, Omar. Jamal, there he is. Thanks for being here, man. There you go, television pilot. Slapbuster, yeah, I think everybody has a boat nowadays, and there's a lot. During the week, today, maybe you see 2 or 3 boats, not anymore. Yep. Even in the winter, I have to use I have it to myself. Yeah, you know, Wesley, I think that's what it is. You know, when the C word was going around, this is my opinion. When the C word was going around, I really think that that a lot of people, you know, obviously had time. Everyone went out fishing more than they would have been otherwise, and so I think that people fell in love with it. Like I did. I mean, and we all did that fish a lot. You know, we love it, we enjoy it, and so that's why I think now there's just more people in the outdoors. More people are aware of it. More people kind of know the timings, the locations, all that stuff. Social media definitely plays a role in it. And yeah, I really think it's a combination of that. A lot of people still work remote, so they can kind of, you know, work around. If they need to work, they can get out, whatever. But anyway, while I'm thinking about it, I want to shout out Shut Up and Fish, David Goodson. Y'all be sure to go check him out. He really hooked it up, really helped me out getting the equipment I need to go run these trips this summer and just to make videos and everything. So I really would appreciate if y'all go check him out. B&M up here, Camo's Custom Hand Ties. Y'all be sure to check him out too on Facebook. And then Flop Industries. If y'all are interested in a flop box, I'm getting ready to use the flop box every single day in the summertime. I don't leave home without it. It keeps the minnows nice and fresh. It's another way to support the channel. If you guys are interested in purchasing one of them, I think they have a bigger model too coming out. And if y'all are interested, just use the code KidCrappie10 at checkout. Put it in here. KidCrappie10 at checkout. That'll save you a little money and put a little money in my pocket as well. So that I think you know, those are, I don't have a lot of sponsors, but the ones I have, I'm very, you know, thankful for. I don't want to work with anybody. You know, I want to work with those who really support me, I really enjoy their products, services, things like that. I don't want to just push a bunch of stuff out there for no reason. Hey, Jamal, can you make a video or tell me your recording setup? I started a fishing channel. Any tips would help. Jamal, yeah, for sure. I can tell you here. So I have 2 GoPros. I have I always get the numbers mixed up. I think I think an 8 and a 9, or maybe 2 8s. I can't remember. Just two. I only have 2 GoPros, and I forever I filmed off of 1 GoPro, and so I have a head mount. I have a I don't know how to describe it, like a crunch, like not a crunchy. What is the word? Like a scrunchy type mount on the bottom. I just have mounts scattered around the boat, scattered around my kayak, and then I just have a MacBook Air that has just the basic video editing software. That's what that's what I use. Man, Jamal, I'm gonna be honest, dude. So having a YouTube channel is not the cakewalk that everyone thinks it is. I don't know. I don't know where the. I feel like there's a disconnect from those that don't have YouTube channels and those that have it and know what it's really like. I feel like so many that don't have it just feel like everything comes easier to us. Everything's just more, you know, easy, but it's not. It's actually kind of worse in a way to have a YouTube channel, especially when you guide, because I have all these videos of me catching fish, and so everyone that hops in the boat just expecting just to catch fish every drop, and it's tough. You know, it's really tough. Yeah, be sure y'all to stay on topic. You know, if we're talking fishing, you know, if it's obviously related to the conversation we're having, that's fine, but just definitely try to stay on topic for us. Definitely got some spamming going on today. Jay's fishing and outdoors. You ever fish for yellow bass? No, I have not. I catch some every now and then, but really, honestly, the lakes I fish for the most part don't really have yellow bass in them. Yeah, Dave is a good dude, Wesley. Yeah, he's a really good dude. Colton, thoughts on crappie nibbles and other attractants? Man, my opinion. This is my opinion. This is my opinion only. I think crappie nibbles, scent, and stuff like that, like all those gels and stuff you put on your baits, I think all that is gimmicky stuff. It's just my opinion. I think crappie are visually oriented, and the thing is confidence is everything, and that's what I've always said. Confidence is everything. So if you feel confident in putting some attractant on there, by all means. If it's going to give you the confidence to keep fishing, you know, or fish it more effectively, by all means. But is it needed? No. And do you have to go out and buy every attractant? No. I used to have crappie nibbles, but I don't have any crappie nibbles. I don't have any scent at all anymore. And the only I'll get like some Berkeley Gulp, little worms and stuff like that for perch in the summertime. But outside of that, I don't have anything scent based at all. And I just feel like presentation and profile will get you bit 10 times more than even color. And color goes back to the confidence thing. Some people have confidence in certain colors and this and that, which is fine, you know, for sure. But the scent just doesn't really matter. I have fished long enough, and I have just never noticed there being a big difference. And I minnow fish a lot in the summer, so I don't really know if I don't see a correlation. If that makes sense. Television pilot tip 1: conceal your location. Yep, television pilot's right. You definitely want to kind of be careful where you're filming, and that's something I learned really young and had to kind of figure that out too. Hugo, start doing setting videos on these garments and tag them sponsorships with them. Will go so far. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. I want to get. That's one thing, you know. I like I said, I don't have a lot of sponsors, and that's fine. But I sure would like to have a gas sponsor or a boat sponsor. That would be really good. Slabbuster, I was going to ask, the crappie scattered bad there? Yeah, they are, Slabbuster. They're all over the place here, man. Camo Joe, there he is. Jay is Lake Worth loaded with yellow bass. Yeah, I didn't catch a single one, but it's my first time being there, so I'm sure there's a bunch in there. Yeah, the guiding's not easy, Slab, for sure. Yep, Slab's right. Crappie and white bass, everything are not line shy. They are not. I think they can see the line, like Slabbuster said. I think they can see the line, but I don't think they know what it is. They don't see that line and like, oh, there's a jig and I'm about to get caught. They just see like, whoa, what is that? They don't know what it is, I don't think. Colton, I've gone back and forth on braid and mono. What's your go-to? I love, y'all bear with me here. I love, give me 1 second. Okay. I like mono. I've always been a mono guy. I don't like braid. I don't like anything about braid. I can't stand braid, personally. My opinion again. But I know a lot of people like braid because it's strong. You can get your jigs back, and it's really, really sensitive. But for me, I use monofilament and combine those with B&M rods, and I have no problems filling bites. And I use the high vis mono. I'm super big on high vis because there's so many bites, especially guiding in the summertime. There's so many bites that clients get, and even I get in the summertime that I don't feel, but I'll see that line go slack, and I'll know they're on there, and I'll tell a client, hey, the line's slack, lift up, there's a fish on there, and sure enough, there is. And so that high vis is so critical for me. Slabbuster, I've caught them too many times in Clearwater Lake. I fish sometimes with high vis braid. The braid I use is like sewn thread. Yep, they make really thin braid now too. Yep, could be that too, Wesley. They're so concentrated on the lure they don't really see the line. That is true. You see, I'm trying to see the Mavericks score. The Mavericks are only down by 4. Let's see. Well, y'all, I'm not gonna keep everyone on here super long. I just wanted to touch base. And Camo Joe getting ready to fish crappie tournament Saturday, Lake Berryessa, tough lake, getting nervous. Man, I see some bass tournaments out there. Is Berryessa a pretty good crappie lake, man? It seems tough for sure for bass as well. Television pilot, I was aggravated with the braid on top of the water when trying to get a jig down quick the other day. Forgot about that part. Yep. Outdoor, man, I've heard yellow bass are pretty good to eat. They don't have as much of a bloodline as the white bass do, sand bass do. I've heard they're good. I have never tried them. I definitely wouldn't try any out of Lake Worth though. They're in there. There you go, man. Well, good luck. Good luck. I hope you get into them. I'll be watching. I'll be looking for it. Let's see. You go be safe out there, kids. Stay positive and keep grinding, and your dedication and work ethic will bring the success you deserve. Thank you, Hugo, man. That means a ton. Television pilot. Worth has the best tasting fish around here. It sure does. JR, man, I'm with you. We need a change. I'm with you on that, man. Ray Hubbard does have some yellow bass. Trying to think of what other lakes around here have yellow bass. I know Lewisville, Joe Pool has some. I think I've only caught them in Walnut Creek before, though. I think is the only place I've caught them on Joe Pool. I need to get down to Joe Pool pretty soon and check it out. Levon has small yellow bass. I'm trying to remember if I've caught one on Levon. I may have caught one. I don't remember per se, but I may have caught one on Levon before. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and kind of start wrapping things up, y'all. I don't want to keep y'all on here for too long, but really enjoyed chatting with everyone tonight. I'm going to try my best to make this more a regular thing. Television pilot new record came from Benbrook. It's not a regular thing to catch big ones. Yeah, it's not. They're pretty small typically. They're a lot like perch size wise. Yeah, Cedar Creek does. Now I'm thinking about it. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for being here, by the way. But Cole catching crappie shallow. I've caught a few shallow. Not a ton, but definitely catching a few. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, y'all. Thanks so much for taking time out of y'all's evening to join me. I'm going to try my best to make this more regular. And I've got a ton of videos lined up for y'all. I've got one dropping tomorrow. I've got videos for the next 2 weeks, basically. And I'm going to try my best to do... I've got a goal in my mind of videos that I want to do this month. And that's what I'm working towards, so... Fishing every time. Fishing every time. So I'm working toward that goal, and I can't wait to try and get there. So, all right, y'all. Thanks so much again. Stay safe out there if you're here in Dallas with all the storms and rain. And if you're out on the creeks the next few days after this rain, be very, very careful because those banks are going to be slippery and you're going to fall right in the creek. So be careful out there, y'all. Be careful. Slab Buster, see y'all. Enjoyed it. Stay safe out there. Thank you, Slab. Enjoyed it as well. You stay safe out that way too, buddy. Take care, Jamal. Oh, appreciate that, man. Thanks for the support. All right, y'all. See you later. Y'all take it easy out there.